Melissa, so far it's been several police officers, a paramedic, and even a former cashier of the Triangle Mart. During opening statements, both prosecution and defense used their time to build a timeline of events that took place on the 24th for members of the jury. Both surveillance footage and witness testimonies have helped fill in the gaps.
Ashley, do we have any idea how much longer this trial will last?
Jean, unfortunately we don't, but we do know that there's been talk about moving the remainder of the trial from Roanoke to Danville simply because of how few defendants are left. What's interesting is that in opening statements, both Walker's attorney and the prosecution agree. They said the shooting never should have happened, that it was senseless gun violence, and that Walker made a bad choice. But now that the trial has begun, it'll be up to the jury to decide if that murder charge stays. Yes, sir. Those were the only words Matthew Thomas Bernard muttered to a judge this morning in a low voice during his first court appearance. 8 months after Louisa Cutting was arrested and charged with second-degree murder of her roommate Alexa Cannon, Cutting made her first court appearance in Radford General District Court. But that appearance was brief, as she had already made a decision to waive her right to a preliminary hearing. According to these documents filed with Pennsylvania County Circuit Court, Matthew Thomas Bernard told investigators he was operating under a religious motivation on August 27th, the day Joan Bernard, Emily Bernard Bivens, and Cullen Bivens were all killed. The document is a search warrant. It's for 2 different iPhones found inside and in the yard of the Bernard home. They currently are in the custody of the sheriff's office, but now investigators are paying more attention to voice recordings saved on Bernard's phone, identified as being in a black case. According to the affidavit for the warrant, an investigator interviewed the youth pastor at Central Boulevard Church of God in Danville, which is the church where Bernard and his family attended. The pastor told the investigator that Bernard kept an audio diary on his phone of what Bernard described as his thoughts, what he saw in dreams, visions, and what he heard from God. While the document states that Bernard has never directly shared the recordings with the youth pastor, Bernard did show them to him, and the pastor said there were over 100 saved on Matthew's phone. A judge has ordered Bernard to have a mental evaluation completed, and it must be done by October 31st and returned back to court.